many have searched for the truth on the mysteries of our world. But in reality, there are no mysteries, only a lack of information. These are the unveiled mysteries of light. I want to ask on a topic from ancient times that has been a mystery to Egyptologists, and it is related to the ancient pyramids.
I will be very brief, because later on I want to leave away to another entity that wishes to communicate. The pyramids of Egypt were not made by Egyptians, and here there is a preposterous assumption, because it is inexplicable how terrestrial scientists who are transcribing the hieroglyphics of Tar don't realize that there are no construction drawings, no words in the Egyptian Old Language or in the complicated hieroglyphics where the pyramids could be described. I mean, if I am an architect, I will have to have maps, measurements, essays.
Very well. So the pyramids really were made by extraterrestrials then? And in which date were they built?
At least 3,000 years before the time they said they were built, that is to say 6,000 years before I embodied as John Zebedee. It is very simple. Now they have the carbon-14, they have the cesium-12, why don't they make a confirmation with the stones? Surely they will find that it has much more antiquity than the 3,000 years they deemed them to be.
And what was the purpose of the pyramids?
In that time, and this is leaving aside all speculation about the ego of their builders could have had when they built them, the pyramids were teletransporting machines. The pyramids had tunnels that transported them to other worlds.
And how did they lift such tremendous weight?
Those aliens had anti-gravitational artifacts. Here on Earth this technology has not yet been discovered.
Now then, according to Egyptologists, there are pyramids that have tunnels, like the Pyramid of Keeps, and others that apparently are solid, like the one of Khafre, and this difference has intrigued them beyond measure.
In all the pyramids there were cavities, in some of them more than the others. These cavities were capable of containing an arrival station and a departure station.
Okay. The Sphinx is another of the mysteries of Egypt. The concrete question is if the face had a particular meaning about somebody, or did it have some connection with the constellation of Leo, as some researchers theorize.
None of the two alternatives is real. The Sphinx was simply built in that way so that the prehistoric inhabitants of that region took the pyramidal constructions as a sacred objects more than machines, so that they worship them and not discover what the pyramids had inside.
Were the Egyptians already in the region during that time?
Yes, but they were very old tribes. Their knowledge was rudimentary.
But were they natives, or were they brought to our planet?
No, they were not brought. They were directly terrestrial inhabitants who were developing their knowledge gradually, because more than once it was transmitted that before Tar, there were other extraterrestrial entities that transmitted knowledge to them.
To conclude the topic of the pyramids, I have two more questions. Do these pyramids at the moment have some purpose? And what relationship do they have with time travelers?
The pyramids no longer have use, and they don't have connections with time traveling.
But the researchers have established that the Great Pyramid indicates future events and that many have been fulfilled.
They are merely coincidences. We know that 99% of the prophecies are coincidental, and a tiny percentage goes to the category of time traveling.
In one of the pyramids, I believe that in the Pyramid of Keeps, they found a stairway on the ceiling. As stairways are usually on the floor, the obvious question is, what is the reason of this unusual location, since at first sight it would seem absurd?
It would be absurd if there wasn't anti-gravity, but the extraterrestrial entities who traveled here had anti-gravitational artifacts, and they could walk as if gravity didn't exist in that place. I leave all my light to you and my blessings.
Greetings, I am Raul. Do you have a question?
Welcome, Master. Do we know exactly who built the pyramids of Egypt? I ask it because I don't remember if I have the information directly from the Masters of Light.
The pyramids of Egypt were built by extraterrestrials from Orion 3. Those beings had a lot of work in that time.
Now I will ask about the so-called Bosnian pyramids. Were they built by extraterrestrials?
That's correct. In that place, there were bases built by extraterrestrials from a planet of the star Bellatrix.
Are these aliens the same as those who abducted the plane that was going to hit the Pentagon?
Yes, correct. Notice that there are many extraterrestrial bases in the planet Earth that at the present time are deactivated. Most of them, and I'm not saying in all of them, the aliens have taken all the equipment, abandoning the structure without leaving a trace of their presence to find it by researchers.
The same thing that the aliens who built the pyramids of Egypt did when they dismantled all of them?
Correct.
I won't ask about Bellatrix because we already have some information about them, but I will ask now, when did they come?
More than 10 centuries ago.
And did they build the pyramids in that time?
Correct. We are speaking of the year 1000. There are some pyramids that were built on the other side of the Andes mountain range, closer to Peru, and they were built in that same time period. These pyramids are newer than the Mayan, Incan and Aztec pyramids, which were also built by these beings from Bellatrix, from the mountain range to the sea, closer to Peru.
Let's see if I understood well. Those pyramids in Peru are on the other side of Los Andes mountain range?
Correct. They are on the mountain range towards the sea, closer to Peru.
Now, I did understand. I will try to find information about this info if it exists. Were all the pyramids of Egypt teletransporting machines?
Yes, all of them, of course, otherwise what would be the purpose of building them?
But so many?
Yes, because there were contingents that constantly came back and forth.
So it's that easy to build teletransporting machines?
For them, yes, it was.
And the famous Sphinx? Was it simply a similar monument like the ones we build, for example, like an obelisk?
Correct.
No religious or esoteric interpretation or something like that?
No, not at all. Notice that most of the planets, except for the underdeveloped planets, don't have what you call religion.
No?
No, and the technological planets don't even think about it.
I am surprised, because I thought that religion was something that exists in all the worlds.
There are planets like Aldebaran 4, which is a planet that is permanently in Middle Ages, and some regions are in an ancient age.
Do you say concretely that advanced planets don't have religion?
Correct.
I assume that the Earth, with its many different religions, is an extremely underdeveloped planet.
The Earth is one of the few planets that is advanced technologically and still continues having religion. This is the strange thing about Sun 3.
Well, I believe that this issue has been properly clarified. Thank you, Master.